Welcome back to the final chapter of this story. If you watched the last episode, you already know things became very hot. We left off at a big corporate building in Victoria Island, Lagos. Stephanie, the former terror of Hostel B, was caught inside a company archive room at 2 o'clock a.m. on a Friday night, looking for secret files. She thought the whole building was empty, but her boss, Amara, was sitting in her office, tracking her every click on the office laptop. You see, many people think revenge is about shouting, fighting, and making noise on social media, but real corporate shares is played in total silence. Adjust your volume right now, put down whatever you are doing, and let's finish the story. Our people have a proverb: the person who owns the house knows where the traps are set. Stephanie thought she was a genius spy, trying to dig up secret files to destroy the company that ruined her father. But she forgot one thing. She forgot that her boss, Amara, the same quiet junior girl that she treated like a dog in secondary school, was the one holding the master key. Tonight, the corporate man is going to fall off and the 15-year-old secret will come out. The final war between the secondary school bully and her victim will end in a way that will give you goosebumps. The following week, the office was buzzing with that heavy, stressful Monday morning Lagos energy. People were rushing out of the elevators, holding their travel mugs, complaining about the crazy traffic on the bridge, and lay out their task for the week. Keyboards were clicking, printers were running hot, and the whole floor smells like coffee and expensive perfume. Stephanie walked into the building at exactly 7:45 a.m. If you saw her, you would think she was an angel. Her corporate dress was perfectly ironed, her hair was neat, and she had that soft, humble smile she always used for everyone in the office. She looked like the definition of a loyal, hardworking assistant. She walked straight to the executive floor, holding her tablet tightly against her chest, ready to brief her boss. She knocked softly on the heavy wooden door, opened it, and stepped inside. "Good morning, ma," Stephanie said, her voice sounding so sweet and respectful. "I've prepared the brief for the big procurement meeting this afternoon. I also shifted your 11 o'clock appointment so you can have time to eat lunch." Amara didn't look up immediately. Her office was completely quiet, a total contrast to the noise outside. Amara calmly signed the document on her desk, closed her expensive pen, and dropped it. Only then did she slowly raise her head to look at Stephanie. The silence in that room suddenly became so heavy you could hear the digital clock on the wall ticking. "Lock the door, Stephanie," Amara said. Her voice wasn't loud. She didn't shout, but the coldness in that voice made the whole office freeze instantly. Stephanie paused for a split second, but her street smart didn't fail her yet. She kept her face clean, turned around, locked the heavy door with a quiet click, and walked back to stand in front of the massive glass desk. "Is everything okay, ma? Did I make any mistake with the calendar?" Amara didn't say anything. Instead, she reached into her deep desk drawer, pulled out a thick, dusty physical folder, and slid it across the smooth glass. The file slid forward and stopped right in front of Stephanie's hand. On the cover, written in the bold black marker, was a company name from 15 years ago: Adebayo Enterprises. Stephanie's heart completely skipped a beat. Her eyes went wild as she stared at her father's old company name. At that exact moment, the humble, apologetic assistant vanished. Her shoulders went straight, her jaw tightened, and her body went rigid. The game was over, and she knew it. "You have been doing a lot of overtime lately, Stephanie," Amara said, leaning back in her big leather chair and crossing her arms. "Audit department, financial logs, checking restricted files from years ago. Do you want to tell me what you were looking for at 2 o'clock a.m. on Friday night?" The silence that followed was suffocating. The AC was humid, but it felt like there was no oxygen left in the room. Stephanie stared down at that file for a long time. Then slowly she raised her head. The gentle, innocent look she had been wearing since the day she passed her job interview was completely gone. In its place was the cold, sharp look from the wicked SS2 senior from Hostel B. She realized there was no point lying anymore. The trap had closed. "I underestimated you. You caught me, but my target in this building was never you." Amara just tilted her head slightly, keeping her face blank, letting her talk. "I told myself it was just another interview. Then I saw your name. I swear to God I almost fainted," Stephanie said, shaking her head as the old memories rushed back. "I was shocked to see you. I didn't come to this company because of you. I didn't even know you worked here. not to talk of being a director. I thought you left Lagos years ago. Stephanie leaned forward, pressing her two hands flat on the glass desk, her eyes burning with anger and deep pain. My target was the entire firm. My plan from day one was simple. Get into the system, make you trust me completely, do my job perfectly, and get access to the main digital archive room. Because I know the truth about how my family was buried somewhere in the old financial records of this company. A tear dropped down Stephanie's cheek, but she didn't even care to wipe it. Her voice started shaking, losing that polished office tone, breaking under the weight of real grief. You think life just humbled me naturally? You think my father just lost his wealth because of bad luck? No, Amara. The sudden collapse of my father's company completely destroyed us. It took everything we ever owned. Our houses, our cars, our name. We couldn't even pay rent for a boy's quarter. And the stress of watching his life's work disappear overnight, it gave my dad a massive stroke. It killed him, Amara. My father died because of what happened back then. I spent 5 painful years tracking his lost properties, and the paper trail led straight to the surface. I came here to find the hard proof that this company used fraud to steal his empire and kill my father. That was my mission. Stephanie stood there, her chest moving up and down, breathing heavily, waiting for the blast. She was expecting Amara to scream at her, call the police, or just laugh in her face to enjoy her final victory. After all, the girl that used to bully her in secondary school had just confessed to hacking company files to destroy the firm. But Amara did none of that. She didn't panic, she didn't mock her, and she didn't get angry. She just sat there, looking at Stephanie with deep pity. It wasn't the look of an enemy celebrating. It was the look of someone watching a person who had been living a lie for years. Open the folder, Stephanie, Amara said quietly. Stephanie hesitated, her fingers shaking over the cardboard. Then slowly, she opened the file. Inside were the original stamped contract documents, bank statements, and signed papers from the final days of her father's company. Your father didn't hide the truth from you because he was a victim of this company, Amara said, her voice steady and calm. He hid the truth from you out of sheer pride because he couldn't bring himself to tell his brilliant daughter that he was completely betrayed by the people he loved the most. Amara leaned forward and pointed her finger at the signatures at the bottom of the old assets transfer documents. Look at the names of the board members who signed off to sell Adebayo Enterprises. Look at them closely, Stephanie. That is not our CEO's signature. Those are the signatures of your father's own managing partners, his childhood friends, his inner circle. Stephanie's eyes scanned the pages quickly. Her hands were shaking. Back then, Amara explained, your father's own business partners were stealing money behind his back, taking massive bad loans in his name, and setting the company up for a massive legal crash. They were preparing a trap that would have landed your father in Kirikiri prison for the rest of his life. Our company didn't destroy his business. Our executives stepped in at the last minute, bought out the failing company under a legal agreement, and cleared all the debts to save his name. We saved your father from going to jail, but his partners ran away with the remaining cash, leaving him empty-handed. Your father knew exactly what we did, but he couldn't look you in the eye and tell you that his own foolish loyalty to his friends had ruined his home. He let you believe we were monsters because it was easier than admitting his own brother stabbed him in his back. Stephanie collapsed heavily back into the chair. The documents slipped from her hands and scattered all over the desk. The hunger for revenge, the heavy load she had been carrying for years to fight for her dead father, everything deflated in one single second. She wasn't a smooth undercover spy getting justice. She was just a grieving daughter who had been chasing a ghost, foiled by a big lie. For a long time, the only sound inside her locked office was Stephanie's broken sobbing. The tough warrior was gone. The wicked senior from Hostel B was completely gone. She put her face in her hands and wept for her father, for her wasted years, and for the heavy truth she just found out. Slowly, Stephanie wiped her face with a tissue, stood up on shaking legs, and adjusted her skirts. She looked across the desk of Amara, her eyes completely empty, stripped of all pride. I will pack my things from the desk, Stephanie whispered, her voice barely coming out. I know you have to fire me immediately. Honestly, if you call the police, I won't even fight. I broke the law by entering those archives. I'm sorry for everything, Amara. For them And for now, Amara stood up from her chair. She didn't look at the scattered papers. Instead, she walked to the large glass window, looking out at the chaotic Lagos skyline and traffic below, before turning back to face the woman who used to give her nightmares as a child. 15 years ago, inside Hostel B, Amara said, her voice soft, but hitting hard in the quiet room. You had all the power, you had the clique, you had the status, and you had every junior student trembling. You used that power to make me, a small J1 girl, kneel down under a freezing rainstorm for 2 hours over an MTN recharge card you planted inside my locker. You destroyed my self-confidence. You gave me severe anxiety that took me years of therapy to heal. You made me feel like I was nothing. You broke me, Stephanie. Stephanie closed her eyes tightly, waiting for the heavy blow. She knew she deserved whatever Amara was about to do to her. Today, Amara continued, walking slowly until she was standing just a foot away from her. The tables are completely turned. I am the director here. I hold all the power in this building. I could call the security right now, hand over the system locks to the police, ruin your career permanently, and make sure you never get a corporate job in this country again. I could leave your younger siblings at home with absolutely nothing to eat. Stephanie nodded quietly, accepting her fate. But, Amara said, her voice becoming gentle, pain that is not healed usually just turns people into a monster. If I use my power today to destroy your life, then I am no better than the senior who used to beat me with plastic anger in 2008. And I completely refuse to let what you did to me back then change the good person I am today. I am not you, Stephanie. My success is my healing. Amara picked up the scattered documents from the desk, neatly arranged them back into the folder and folded it into the drawer. Go back to your desk, go to the restroom and wash your face. Your father's memory can finally rest in peace, and your younger siblings need you to keep providing for them. Do your actual job, earn your salary honestly, and let the past go. Your secret is completely safe with me. You have a second chance. Don't waste it. Stephanie stared at Amara, completely speechless, her lips trembling. She didn't find the corporate revenge she came for. Instead, she found a heavy, unearned mercy that completely shattered her whole world. She nodded quickly, muttered a broken thank you, and walked out of the executive office, closing the door softly behind her. And that was the exact moment the dark, heavy shadow of Hostel B finally left Amara's life forever. Not through matching wickedness with wickedness, and not through crushing her enemy, but through ultimate power of letting go. Because at the end of the day, the best way to defeat an old enemy isn't to drag them into the mud. It is to show them that despite everything they did to break you, they completely failed to change the goodness of who you are. What a story. What would you have done if you found yourself in Amara's shoes? Would you have used that executive power to deliver the final strike of revenge and finish her completely? Or would you have opened the door of mercy like Amara did? Drop your thoughts, your theories, your life lessons in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right now, like this video and share to your loved ones. Stay safe out there guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Good night.